Hey guys, welcome back. Lucian here with you again for another episode of the Crackpack. So let me show you what I've been working on since the last episode. So remember last episode we made the Galgadorian farmer cart. That is now finished, so we're going to play with that. Yeah, took about 2 hours to do, but as you can see I've made a slight change over here. There's no more of that power making, the turbine and the Ender IO vats, stuff like that. So after last episode I get pretty aggravated with that setup over there and being right there, so let me show you what I did. So let's jump over to the mining world. Quickly. Also, I'm looking for a texture pack. I don't know, I got the itch to change to a different texture pack for this. Resource pack, whatever you want to call it. Don't know if there's any good ones out for 1.7 yet. Come on, lag. Holy frame rate. Well, that's better. Alright, jump over to the mining world. There we go. So I decided to make myself a little power plant, and I decided to put it in the digger world. That's why it, if it does cause any sort of lag or whatever, then it is what it is. So here is my new power plant, and been still working on it. Still a little bit of a work in progress, but it's getting better each time I work on it. So I just moved the vats down here. I put it Ender chest, so as I toss in things from the Ender chest, they'll get imported in here and slowly filtered out to the correct vat, and I have item filters on all of them, making sure they get what they need. But the system is backed up just a little bit because we're full on power, and I put 4 capacitors here and then I'm just sending basically dimensional transceiving power back up to the space station for power. So, and also with that, I have been slowly making solar panels. Got a few solar panels on the roof, so that'll continue to expand. But right now that is 64. Wait, I must be missing one. Okay, so that's 64, and that one's 256. So making some decent power. So that's like almost 500 RF, I think. But I broke these doors. I need to fix these doors. There we go. So over here I left a little area. Kind of what I envisioned is on one side having a big reactor kind of sunk down in the ground, kind of like a have a reactor right here. Got a nice little covering over it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 blocks. So definitely have to sink it down a little bit. So this would be 5 blocks. So I could easily make a 7 by 7 by 5 big reactor here, and then same thing with a turbine over here. So that was just kind of what I've been thinking about doing. We'll see how that goes. I left enough space that I can easily throw those in there right away. So let me know what you think. I like it. It's coming. It's getting better each time. I like the way this is sandy blocks from Railcraft. So pretty neat. Over here in the mob farm, I blocked it all up and put dark glass on there, and actually put some what's this stuff called? Cursed earth. That's it. I put some cursed earth in there, but I do not seem to be spawning anything off of the cursed earth. So I've come to the conclusion that since this is the digger world from Roma's mining world, and it disables mob spawns, passive mob spawning, I think that cursed earth is not going to work because it's basically a passive mob spawn, not like like a forced mob spawn like the two spawners there. So that's the conclusion that I've come to. I don't know if that's accurate or not, so we're gonna have to come up with something else for that. But it's not that much to worry about. I can easily figure out something. Basically, I just need to move the cursed earth somewhere else into the overworld, probably. But like I said, no big deal for that. I actually have everything turned off right now, since I'm pretty good on everything. That's out of essence anyway, but yeah. Cool. So that's a couple things that the project's been working on. So I did not build anything on the space station because after the last episode I mainly started working on this little power plant. Oh, I think that's pretty much the catch up from last episode, and I've slowly started moving making more of those dimensional transceivers to basically teleport power around. Like I have one out here on for the dimensional stabilizer for the portals. So let's jump back up here and let's play with this new Galgadorian farmer. Alright. He makes more boots, but I think I didn't make any more armor because I think I'm gonna start working on some flux armor. I think that's the plan. So let me grab cargo manager. Did I make one? I think I did. Yeah, I did. You can go away. And you come here. Alright, so this is the first time I've ever made a Galgadorian farmer. I've made a Galgadorian drill before, but never a farmer, so this will be interesting to use. We'll just hop up here. Oh, I need some dirt, but come on, fly. Come on, angel wings. Oh, speaking of angel wings, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but you could actually put your angel ring in one of your bauble slots. So you don't always have to have it in your you don't always have to have it like in your inventory. Now, what I will say is that if it is in your bauble slot, so like, okay, let's say if I die right now, then everything in my inventory would go into a gravestone, right? Well, I believe the exception is these bauble slots and the Galactic Craft slots, because I've lost Galactic Craft stuff twice now, and I'm actually still missing a parachute. In fact, I should probably fix that sooner than later. Anyway, but that's just a little tidbit that I've learned just from experimentation. Alright. So we're going to have to deal with some water up here for sure. Not sure how I want to deal with that yet. But I mainly want to see what the inventory, the GUI, looks like on this thing. Oh, that looks pretty cool. And now this does a 5x5 area, so it'll do 2 blocks on each side of the cart. So that's why I have 2 blocks here, and this actually only 3, so it has a little bit of overlap, which is fine. But that's just how the size of this little platform worked out. Now let me take a look into this thing. Alright. Let's go disable that. So if side chest, Now if I do something like this, what's going to happen? Nothing. So I was trying to basically get away from not using a liquid manager, but I may be forced into it. Okay, well, give me a few minutes. Let me set this thing up or get it better set up now that I have now I know I need to go make a liquid manager. And let me get that programmed up, and then I'll be back in a second to show you kind of how it works and all that good stuff. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, we're back. So spent about 20 minutes getting this thing wired up and ready for it to go on a test run. So what I've done is here, I did have to make up the liquid manager for this to function right. I also made a water ender tank and set up a little water farm over at the on the tech side of the base on the far side. So what I've done that, and then I've ran Steve's factory manager underneath, hooked everything together with the factory manager cable. So this has got lava and water in it. I can click on the cart. You see in this advanced tank, which is the big tank's got 32 water, and then the two smaller tanks is lava. The reason I did that is because I have a hydration thing on there, so that's going to keep the water, keep the farmland hydrated. And without that, then I'd have to have some sort of water source or sprinkler or something up there. So that's why I switched it to that. So I think we're ready to give it a shot. So just threw some seeds in there. Now I'm probably going to have to do just a little bit more tweaking with this cargo manager. We'll have to see, because I guess why I say that is because on your input right here, oh, this is the code, I'm sorry, should talk about that. So just have two triggers, one for lava, one for water, and then output to the fluid manager, and then just have one trigger bringing in a white list of wheat back and putting it back into the main ender chest. Now here's where I'm going to have to do some tweaking. I don't know which target is going to actually export the wheat, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I guess I can get the watering can out. We can kind of play with this. Alright, where's the watering can? You okay? Why are you stuck? So like I said, here's the water, and then I just have 8 buckets of lava, 32 buckets of water. That way it has enough water to hydrate, and since this thermal engine requires lava and water to run, so it made more sense to have the bigger tank of water since it's going to be used more. So let's see if I can force grow some of this stuff. That way we can watch it work and see if it's actually going to put the wheat in the right slot. Hopefully I gave enough seeds to go all the way around. I should have. But man, it's been a long time since I've played with Steve's carts. Forgot how modular and cool you could make them. But we might have to start playing with it a little bit more, because I believe... Actually, you know what? Never mind. IC2 is not... IC2 is not in this version. Never mind. I was going to say that Railcraft has a new cart. They can run off IC2 power. Come on. Keep on growing. Grow, grow, grow. But one other thing I was going to tell you is, it feels kind of nice to be back recording again. The last couple weeks have been so busy and been out of town so much. In fact, while you're watching this, if you're watching this video, I'm probably still out of town since I'm trying to record ahead. Actually, I've recorded like five or six things just in. This is day number 3 of recording. All right, let's see. It did take more seeds out of there, so that worked right. I don't need to set to that. There's no. All right, so let's see if this guy's going to harvest right. Watch him in action. There he goes. Nice job. Okay, so let's watch this guy. Let's make sure this is going to send back to the ender chest correctly. That it did. Okay. So that down target's going to work. Or maybe just because I have it whitelisted to only bring in wheat. Maybe that's what's overriding. Not sure. But anyway, we have a completely automated wheat farm now. Not that we didn't before, but I could turn that into something else now. Okay, cool. Alright, well, let me clean up the inventory and we'll get started on a little bit of Bontania stuff. I need to do a few Bontania things. So I'll see you in a minute once I get all things gathered up. And we're back. Down in the overworld, over here, set up a little bit of a Bontania area just to work on. So the reason I want to get into Bontania is, well, a couple things. I just want a couple things out of there. I'm not going to mess with it too much right now, but one of the things that I want to get is this. Is a fallen Kancade. Basically, it's a flower that applies a regeneration effect. Now, you may ask yourself, why do I need a regeneration effect? Well, in bludgeon magic, I'm having to stab myself to get blood into the altar. Now, I know there's a... Once I get a little bit more advanced, I can start sacrificing things, but at this point, it might be easier just to make one of these, apply the regeneration effect, so I could just sit there and just spam up with blood to fill up the altar. So that's what the goal is. So that's what we're going to try to get that accomplished for the rest of the episode, if we can. So just spend a few minutes off camera trying to get some more wood and our living rock and living wood built up, so that way we can use it. I brought up down a handful of materials from the space station to help me get going. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need to get is some way to start generating mana. Mana is the magical thing of Bontania. But first we need a wand of the forest. So we need 3 living wood twigs. I didn't bring a crafting bench. I think there's one. Yeah, there's one right there. So we'll get that going. Did I ever show you my sheep farm? Just got a solar panel on there with a ender chest. And then just kind of keep them contained. But seems like a creeper came and blew that up, because that wasn't like that the other day. But anyway. Alright. So we need some twigs. And I promise I'm not going to do a lot of Bontania on screen, because I've done it before. And, you know, it's fun to do, but not necessarily always fun to watch, especially this early game stuff. So I have some flowers in here. Lime flowers, I don't think I need you. So is it like that? That it is. On to the forest. So, but maybe some people haven't seen Bontania. Now, some people are going to argue with me about this, and that's fine. Everybody's got their opinion. But a lot of people will say that Bontania is a magic mod. And I actually agree with you there, but to a certain point. Bontania, just like Thaumcraft, does have a tech tree to work through. So you can, I mean, this whole book basically is an in-game wiki. So it's pretty cool. So we need to start generating some mana now. So we're gonna need a spreader, a mana pool, one more, diluted mana pool. Now the difference between the two mana pools, the diluted one can't hold as much. It's getting dark. Not gonna make the mistake of moving my bed again. So just sleep real quick. And you can see I was playing with the atomic disassembler while I was more or less goofing off while the living rock was changing over. So we got our mana pool now. Let's get a mana spreader, which is gold. I didn't bring any gold, did I? Yep. Okay. Well, I'll cut and let me get a few things made up. I'll have to run back to space station and get some gold. So my eventual goal will be to move this up to the space station, and I got a pretty cool idea that I'll talk to you about in a minute. But since all the flowers are down here, I gotta make it down here, and then I can bring it up. So be back in just a second. Alright, let's get this started. So the first thing I want to make is some day blooms. It's kind of your very, well, I guess right there, basic rudimentary generating flower. It takes sun power and turns it into mana. Now there's also the opposite, which is a nightshade, works in the dark. So I believe that I could, in conjunction between the nightshades and day shades, I might be able to make something on the space station. If not, use one of the other ones, like a thermal lily that draws in water, or draws in lava. The hydrangea is the water one. So we're gonna get started with that. So to make day blooms, just for a quick refresher, is there's the pattern. Kind of leave it one block space between the two. So we have an orange, a light blue, and 2 yellow. It's already getting night again. Alright, so 5 yellow, 5 of those, and 10 orange, which should make us 5 flowers. Should. Alright, let's do this. Oh, do I got too much stuff in it? Yeah, I may have too much stuff in it. Okay. Alright, let me go sleep and get this thing sorted out. In fact, you know what? I'll cut right here, and I'll come back with this finished, generating some mana and all that good stuff. So, because it's kind of boring. So I'll see you in a second. All right, guys, I'm back. Now it is a day later, recordings, since I get tired of babysitting this thing. But I think we got enough mana in there to get this guy going. One thing that's new in this, since the last time I played with Bontania, it's got a nice little sound when it sends a mana burst over. Not bad. I can imagine probably would get annoying. But what I did is I got 5 day blooms, made those, and I made 5 nightshades, and then I also made 2 endo flames. The endo flames are flowers that take in any kind of combustible material. Okay, maybe it's the other one. One of them I just gave. Take in combustible material like that, and then produce mana off of it. So basically I got enough mana out of the day blooms and the nightshades to make these, and then I've been supplementing my everything else with these endo flames. But pretty cool. So one thing I wanted to show you in here that kind of threw me off is here's the one that I made on camera, the diluted mana pool. So I had this down and I was trying to get stuff made and it wasn't working. So I went back to the guide and it says mana pools come in 2 varieties, a weaker one, which is the diluted, the one I have in the chest, and then a normal one. So what you do is you make the diluted one, get enough mana in it, and then throw another diluted one, and then it becomes a normal, which I think is an absolutely stupid mechanic. In older Bontania, that was not the case. So you have to make 2 of them, 2 mana pools, to throw one mana pool in the other mana pool to get a normal mana pool. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. But I've made up of most of these materials. I saved the very last stages, just kind of go on camera, just in case if you are new to Bontania, then you can kind of get an idea of how this is going to go. In fact, I need to maybe make a little bit more of this. Come here, you. I didn't catch that before I started recording. Just throw down a few more of those. Alright, so what I have made, let's see, I'll go back to making functioning floor, and we're making this one right here. So here's our final recipe right here. And to make this rune of spring, this requires a rune of water, a rune of fire, which I have, rune of fire, 3 saplings, and a piece of wheat. So y'all put them in the runic altar. You just right click them in. You see how much mana it takes to actually craft it. So I'm going to click on this just to go ahead and start sending mana over here to start the process. And you can see the little mana spreading, and you're going to look for that little particle effect in there. And when you start seeing big bolts of lightning, that lets you know that the infusion is complete. Toss down a piece of living rock on top, right click it in. There we have a rune of spring. Now we can finally make the last one, which is this one. So we need brown, orange, yellow. I have all these made up, I believe. I just need to probably look over it and make sure I got it all right, but I believe I did everything right. So we have an orange, yellow, 2 white, and that. Okay. So orange, brown, yellow, white, white, white. Alright. Let me just look that over. Okay, we got 3 of the white, the yellow, orange, brown. Okay, I think we're good. So we'll just send it over. Come on. Oh, what am I doing? Man, I messed that one up, didn't I? Alright, so looks like I'm missing my white one. One white one. It's alright, I got an extra one. I don't even know what I was doing there. Alright. Grab some seeds. Alright. 2 white, orange, yellow, brown. Rune of spring. And finally our seed. There we have it. Fallen Kancade. Alright, sweet. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pack up all this stuff and I'm going to take it up to the space station. Because that's where it's going to reside. So what I'm going to do next, I could pick you up. I could pick you up. The next thing I'm going to do is I have a mana pearl right here, which is just a ender pearl around, soaked in mana, just tossed in the mana pool. I'm going to surround it with a living rock. And that's going to get a mana tablet. Now, the mana tablet basically is a storage device for mana. So I'm just going to toss it in there and let it suck up all the mana. And I'm going to start packing all this up. So, I'll get this finished up, get everything moved up to the space station, and I'll meet you back here in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. So, moved everything up here, and just I'm on the platform that I have designated for the blood magic area. So, just got everything set back up. Put more nightshades out than day blooms because, well, I don't know. I wanted to see. I still have them all, but I just, maybe because it's black that it feels like it's darker. I don't know. You know what? I think this is my imagination getting the best of me here. We'll just do it like this. I'll just put them all back out. Now, one cool trick that you can do is with the wand of the forest. If you mouse over a flower, you can see and make sure that it's basically correlating with a spreader. So you can see how the spreader's kind of got a cool little rainbow effect on the edges. That lets me know that the mana spreader is now reaching that. However, this one is not now. You see what I mean? So I'm going to have to rearrange this now. It's too far away. But I could do that off camera. But I'll put them all back out. Anyway, so I got the mana spreader going into the mana pool. Mana pool is currently empty right now. And then what this one right here is a redstone mana spreader. Basically, when it gets a redstone signal, I have not figured out which way is which yet, but we will very soon. So basically, on a lever signal, it'll take mana, send it over to the flower, which will apply the regeneration effect. So while I'm here stabbing myself, I can just turn this on, get the regeneration effect, and when I'm done, just flip the lever back off. Make sense? Pretty easy. So I got the mana tablet. Make sure this is accepting, which it is. So we got a little bit of mana in there. Go ahead and finish draining it out. You are now empty. Okay. So we have that much in there. Not a whole lot. Okay. So now you can see on is not sending mana. On, off. Okay. So that makes sense. So now that I have this regeneration effect, but it does give you hunger 3. So, you know, it is what it is, right? So okay. So I just gotta remember to eat. But it's not bad, is it? It's a nice little way to kind of use the system to your advantage. And put some more in there. So you can see I'm rapidly going to build up this. And how we're doing on mana. We haven't changed much on mana, so pretty neat. But now we can actually start getting into a little bit more blood magic now that I have these runes coming out a whole lot quicker. thanks to Bontania. Cool. My phone was ringing. So that'll probably much do it for this episode. Got a nice little easy setup to crank out these plates. Now I know I have enough right now, 25 blank slates. I know that's enough to get started, but you know, I want to get a little bit ahead, and we'll have to create some kind of cool little thing to be able to sacrifice some mobs to get our blood that way. But you can see how much we've done just in this short amount of time. We've done, I don't know, like 6 or something. But that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions like usual, and I will all my contact information is down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.